Hey guys, so I'm going to be giving you a general walkthrough of the Empire mod. I'll be explaining the mechanics and generally how the mod works in Rimworld. I'm going to be talking about the icon interface, I'm going to be talking about the colony building system, I'm going to be talking about the building system, I'm going to be talking about colony moods and different events you can get in your colonies. I'm going to talk about the military system that the Empire mod brings into Rimworld, and policies and traits that you can apply to your Empire-wide to have different effects, buffs, debuffs, or different bonuses. Alright, let's get started. In the bottom right hand corner we'll have a new option. We'll see we can pull up a settlement tab. You'll see we have the name of my faction, the moods of the colony in general, so we have the happiness, we have the loyalty of the faction, the unrest, so the chance of them to revolt, and the prosperity. These are affected by multiple events that you'll be getting through the course of this mod, and also through raids that you will be defending from. If you want to rename your colony, simply click on the gear icon. You can choose your faction name, faction title, and in the future, you'll be able to set an icon for your faction. At this time, the button is not available, and you can confirm the changes. At the top, we will see 4 tabs: Colonies, Bills, and Events. If we click on the Colony tabs, it's going to display the colonies we currently have constructed. It'll show us the colony level, the military level, the unrest, loyalty, and prosperity. Prosperity will show their earnings, rather than the level of prosperity. So this is how much they are bringing in as income. So if we open up the billing tab, we can see outstanding bills, the source of the outstanding bill, the due date, which will be penalized by a reduction in happiness and loyalty if we don't respond to them, the amount, this is us either receiving taxes or paying taxes, and the tie. In this case, we are not getting a tie. If we were, it would be what that colony produces, which could be guns, apparel, food, or base mining resources. In this case, they're just paying us tax, so we can resolve the bill and they will send that to our capital city or colony that we designated as the tax receiving colony. Lastly, we have events. These are the events currently ongoing in our colony. You will sometimes get random events. It'll also display the construction tasks here. Like we can see, we are currently enacting 2 policies. The time remaining is about half a day. There's a military cooldown on one of our colonies. We can't quite see the source. We can see it's Friendship Gorge. If we click on description, Friendship Gorge currently has a military cooldown because we've recently dispatched their military, and we cannot re-dispatch them until a cooldown period has expired. We can see we also have a negative event here, Death in the Family, and we can see its negative consequences on 2 of our settlements. A figure of high importance and connections to your capital in a settlement has been assassinated. Some people on the streets are spreading that it was you who caused their death. -4 happiness a day. This event is affecting the following settlements, and it shows us how long this event will be going on for, 7.6 days. Let's talk about colonies. If I go to my Colonies tab, I can see here at the top right, we have Create New Colony. If I click on that, I have a new interface here on the right. The cost will go up for each settlement. The cost will be increased by 500 silver for each settlement you have. I currently have 9 colonies, which means my next colony is going to cost me 5,500 silver. Colonies are affected by the terrain they're placed on. If they're put on a grassy biome, a temperate forest, you can see there's going to be an increase in food production. The base amount is going to be higher, and they also get a bonus modifier. You can never adjust the base amount. Only events and the natural terrain define the base amounts. But you can adjust the modifiers by building certain buildings, like logging camps will increase the modifier, so will quarries, increasing the modifier of ores, and so on and so on. If I were to build this in a mountain biome, now we've moved to a desert mountainous biome, we can see there are no trees, there is less food, but there is a lot more ore. The base amount is higher, and it has a higher base modifier. Now we are at an arid flat biome. We can see its food production is halved, its wild animal is 3/4, there's not many trees, and ore production is 1.25. If we find an arid mountainous biome, we can see the modifier is increased because of the mountainous addition. If it is not mountainous, there is no modifier. If there is mountainous, there is a modifier. And you cannot settle in the ocean, if any of you are curious. Say if you wanted to have a large amount of food, animals, or wood delivered to your colony daily. You could build a colony here and just, instead of receiving taxes from them, you can order them to send tithes, and they'll send wood, animals, and food to you in bulk, depending on how you assign the workers in the colony. So let's talk about colony management. So here we have one of our colonies called the Closeness Plane. We can tell because it's got faction icon, which is just the default faction icon they have for now. In the future, you'll be able to change this. We go to colonies, we go to Closeness Plane, we can see the layout. In the top left, we can see it's level 4, we can see it's a hamlet, it gives us a brief description, and we can see its military level, happiness, loyalty, unrest, and prosperity. We can also see the buildings we've specifically built and what they do for the colony, and we can also assign workers to different tasks in the colony. And as we add on additional workers, now we can see the cost per worker has gone up to 105 per worker, and we can see the upkeep raise exponentially as we add more and more workers. We can see that upkeep continue to rise and rise and rise. As we add more workers, increase in overall cost. The easiest way to get more workers for your colony is to build buildings. One of the easiest buildings to build, which I strongly suggest, is the migrant house. Local housing for traveler migrants to stay in. +2 max worker and +2 over max worker. 23 is this 23 number is your over max worker and 16 is your maximum worker. As you go over your maximum amount, you're penalized as it increases your cost per worker, dramatically raising your upkeep costs. Be mindful that prosperity is a big thing when you want to earn money. The less prosperity you have, the less overall income you have. As prosperity goes down, so will your profits. Settlement prosperity. The measurement of settlement's overall prosperity. The prosperity of the town directly correlates to the production of resources. 50% prosperity equals 50% production. If prosperity is damaged, it will slowly accumulate over time. So let's take a look at the military tab. Once we open up the military tab, we're greeted with all of our colonies and their military level. If we go down to the bottom, we'll see the colony we were just looking at, Closeness Plane, is military level 3. It has a max squad cost of 5,000 silver. You are not paying 5,000 silver for this squad. It's the town's budget. So if I go up to Friendship Gorge, my level 10 town, he's level 10 military, he has a maximum squad cost of 50,500. So I'm not actually spending that money if I were to use these units. If I were to call these in, say, onto my world map, I won't have to pay this amount. This is just how much I'm allowed to spend. Let's talk about where you spend that money. So first off, we go to create unit. We go create new unit. We can roll for a new pawn if we want, and we can adjust the equipment. We can give this lady a shotgun, a jacket. We can give her a flak jacket, some pants, a belt, and a marine helmet. And this all adds up to 1,822 silver. So we'll give her a name, we'll call her Demo, and we'll go to create squads. And we'll create squad 3, call this Demo 1, and we will place Demo as our demonstration unit in here. And we can see this squad costs 1,823 silver. We can add a couple of them if we wanted to. So you can make different types of units and design your squad separately. And then you can designate them to a colony. Here's a squad I created for an example for you guys. We can see the combined value of their equipment adds up to 10,350 silver. So we can designate them to a town that has less of a budget than that. We cannot assign them to Cowick because their budget is only 8,500. If we try, we will get an error, but we can assign them to Whittaker because it is within Whittaker's budget, and from there we can deploy the squad to assist us in defending our own capital or helping us in raids. Just be mindful, when you send them out, they will have a cooldown period, so if one of your colonies get attacked, they will not be available to defend the colony. Remember, you can always use your strongest colony to defend the weaker colonies as long as they are available. So as long as you don't use them in the field very often and keep them available, they can protect the lower level colonies when the lower level colonies are under attack. Let's talk about policies and traits. So we can set a tax law, a social policy, a military policy, and 3 faction traits. Tax policy is basically minimum or maximum tax. You can assume what those do. Edict policies, one people united. Divided, we embrace. Royal heritage. Company union. Trade federation. Science foundation. These all do different things. It would take me another 5 or 6 minutes to go through all these and explain them all, but know that they are all empire-wide buffs and debuffs, providing you different costs and benefits. Though none of them are straight upgrades, they all have negative and positive side effects. But they're extremely cool, and this whole mod is extremely cool and adds so much depth to the game, it's crazy. There's also a very large amount of buildings, and I strongly encourage you guys to go through the buildings. This mod is incredible, and it is absolutely worth your time to play in it. I'd say this is probably one of the best mods available in Rimworld at this time, which is saying a lot. There's a lot of mods out there. If you guys enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like. It took me a lot of effort to make this video, so a like would be awesome from you guys. And if you want to help share this around and help me grow my channel, that would be the best thing you can possibly do. Making this video. There's a lot I did not cover with this mod. I only tried to give you the bare minimum basics, and I tried to keep the video as short as I possibly could. Download this mod, give it a try. There's a lot more that I haven't told you for you to still learn about. Hope you guys have yourselves a nice day. Stay safe out there.